Start streaming. Hello, good evening. We should be live. Boatcopter, hell yeah. I figured it'd be different for the thumbnail. Let's see. There we go. Sound does work. Sick. Got a little smudge in my headset. Okay. Let's see, let's get into VR world. Hope you're doing good, bud. Good to see you. Let's see. We're gonna fly something we have not flown in a while just because I want something different. We're gonna get in the Chinook. Livery. I think 246 is the one that I like. I am alive. Still coffee, but I'm alive. Let's go last one. 949. Fuel, sure. No, I said sure, not no thank you. Let's see, says arrival. Generally where we're planning on going there. Bali is generally where we're going to be leaving from. Sure. Says departure. What do we have midway that we can drop in at? We'd be blowing shit around there. Malang. Oh. Yeah, I like this place. We'll do that as like a fuel stop or something. What does that say? Heliport, yeah, but just like one little spot. Weird. Hell yeah, dude. Flint River's nice, especially out there near the school bus rock and everything. That's gonna get rid of my midpoint, isn't it? Yep. What a Malang midpoint. Okay, let's do a thing. I want to scoot forward some. I feel like I'm really, really far back. Hell yeah, big helicopter. I should be flying tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Dude, fucking fidlocks are awesome. Also, speaking of fidlocks, fidlocks, whatever people are calling them these days, I don't need, it would be nice, because the whole purpose of me doing this, getting a custom kneeboard built and figured out, is because I want to be able to run an iPad mini, but I don't have an iPad or an iPad mini, so I've yet to design that kneeboard. But what I need to do is just go ahead and design one for what I have now, my phone, even though I can't use whatever, or just design one that uses the straps, so I can go in and get the straps from you and set up and get you paid for that and everything. And then as soon as dang it, I'm gonna sit forward. This way I can scoot forward. Down. You. I figured you would be here since we were in the Chinook. Fucking cookie whore. Jeez. Already. Checklist pre-flight. Probe covers, engine covers, wheel chocks have been removed. Pre-flight inspection, doors are closed. Parking brake should be set. There's a parking brake on this thing. That's pedals. Oh, I can do it with my thing here. Okay, that is parking brake. Okay. I'll have to push the pedals into release. Got it. Parking brake, cyclic. I have control. Pedals move. Collective moves. Battery switch. We're going to turn that to on. Let's see. Battery on. All instrument check. Yeah, they're still there. Altimeter set. We're near 0 right now. So we can just do that. Yeah, that looks good. Basically at sea level. Condition lever set to stop. Circuit breakers in. Circuit breakers in. Okay. I'm assuming all of her circuit breakers are in if she's doing her job. Levers are on stop. Good to go. You'll see it's also like, I got a 3D printer, so I can make the board however I need to. And I went to the Apple, or not the Apple store, to the AT&T store because I want to get one with cellular. And APU start on, APU gen switch on. Once that's running, but Belen, welcome. Hello, good to see you. Blah 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 blah. Something something. Yeah, I'll just make a smaller version for now that fits a paper map and everything. With my cool badass straps and clips and all, and then I'll just print a new one. Whenever I need to. See. Fuel pumps on. For some reason I'm thinking fuel pumps are down here, but I think that's in the yeah, it is. I just need mains on. And crossfeed switches. Standby hydraulic pressure on and PTU controls on. Which really the hydraulic pressure doesn't matter. Wait, which one's standby hydraulics? Oh, I guess that's both. Okay. Flight controls, free and clear, collective, condition levers, move them to ground. Engine 1 start switch. Start. Let's see. I feel like I should know where the fucking start switches are. I've done this before. Do I look? Oh no, it's right here. Generator control switch on once we get some speed going. Robert Harrison, what's going on? Good to see you, dude. Hope you're doing well. Engine 2 start switch. Standby hydraulic. Off. APU. Off. APU generator. Off. Condition lever set to flight, and then we'll be good to go. Let's see. Yeah, it's like I've got some weird modular ideas for the kneeboard, like all completely fucking unnecessary, obviously. But it gives me something to do, you know, this kind of thing. So we are heading in like a sort of direction for the direct 2 to the midpoint. .289, so 290. I'll move that over here like an iPad mounted to my window. That'd be much more convenient than on the stand there. Yeah, I like that. It's a good spot for it. So let's get a drink of water and we'll be on the way. Got everything warming up. Hydraulic switches are off. I can take the fuel transfer closed. 12 pounds, that's good, pressure, good. N1s are happy, those are happy, those are happy, those are happy. Looks like gauges are in the green, blah, 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 good to go. Bali traffic, helicopter 42069 Foxtrot Whiskey. We are on the ramp. Jesus. Not what I wanted. I forgot this thing flies completely differently. Okay, let's sit down like we're actually doing this for real. For realsies now. Why do I have caution light on? Why are you so touchy? Look, we don't have a caution light on anymore. Okay, but I don't need pedal. That's the thing. Bali Tower, helicopter 42069 Foxtrot Whiskey, 420 Foxtrot Whiskey, that's it. It's been a while since we've done this. We are at the south ramp looking for a departure to the northwest. We will be clear of everything going over if we go now. Thank you, Bali. Off we go. We've been given explicit permission to overfly AIC 145. Yes, this is cosplay. It's cause we're playing a game. I think that's how it works. We can step up our torque. We got plenty on the table. Heading's more or less good, kind of avoiding this rain cloud right here. Blah, 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 blah. Easy peasy. But yeah, so the helicopter I was training in went down for some maintenance. Hopefully, it should be back tomorrow. So if that's true, 3 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be flying some more. Very happy. Been missing it the last few days. I was gonna fly, like, we had like at least 2 to 3 days on schedule for this past weekend or whatever. But it had to go down for emergency maintenance. So we're assuming, whatever, that it should be good tomorrow. And yeah, we're planning for 3 o'clock. I don't know if it'll be back at the airport at 3. We may have to pick it up from maintenance and fly it back, but that'll be good because that gives us another airport worth of experience and navigation to deal with. So I would not be opposed to that. Also, there are some fucking clouds up here, boys. It's going to be a fun trip. It'll be a nice one to be back for the first time. Thank God. Super happy I have synthetic vision and everything in here, too. Just love flying through ridiculous amounts of rain without being able to know where I'm going. We'll see. We'll see. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of the experience. Watching our heading bug, which is kind of down here. Our which are looking like 290, 289, so right in there somewhere. This right here, we have to be leaned forward to have any sort of speed, so I can't like perfectly level the horizon with it. So I'm trying to figure out what my good aiming point is, because it looks like we will be getting weather regardless. Vertical speed's ridiculous right now. Holy crap, we don't need to be this high. I'd like to be lower, obviously, but it might be better. What do you think, guys? Do we go below the storm up here, or do we try to go over it? We've got the power to do over if so desired. Curious, what's our... This is a decently longish water crossing there. Doesn't feel like what our actual altitude is. So we're going to go way down on the collective and really kill some altitude here. Orange Jeep, what's going on? Good to see you, dude. Doing another one of these world famous water crossings right here. This doesn't feel like 2,500 feet, does it? Or is it just me? I feel like the wave should be much, much smaller, like glass-looking water over at 2,500. I don't know, we'll keep going down. We're 1,000 feet a minute going down. Try to stay out of these IMC conditions. We still have like 4 miles visibility, but it's shitty visibility. Oh yeah, definitely below the ceiling here now. Much friendlier looking at 1,300 feet. Alleged 1,300 feet. See when my cockpit needs some air. Oop. Let's see what's happened. Oh yeah, I've started auto rotations for real. When we did 2 auto rotation streams as we were getting ready for doing autos in real life. Auto rotations in real life have started. Just one day of it though, because after that I wasn't scheduled for a day or 2 because they had some other stuff going on. And then they had to put it down for a maintenance thing real quick. So I haven't been able to get back to it. But auto rotations are easier than I was expecting or planning for, which makes it harder for me, if that makes any sense. So basically, once you initiate the auto rotation, which the initiation kind of is everything, if you don't initiate right, then you kind of chase yourself all the way down. But here in the game, in the sim, when I'm doing an auto rotation, I'm very constantly micromanaging the rotor RPM to keep it where it needs to be. And it's a bit hard to keep forward airspeed in the sim. It won't die off quick, which it seems to die off almost, or not as quick, but it does die off relatively quickly in real life. But you really don't have to manage the rotor RPM. It's almost like the inertia, at least of the R22 and R66 models that they have here in the blade systems, off. Or it's really off in the 22, which we figured that out. But in the 66, I haven't flown the 66, but I can assume it's slightly different. But it's almost where you go full down with the collective and you bump it up just a wee bit to put yourself at like that good glide bit, and you kind of guess where that is. I'm sure you get a feel for it eventually, but for me it's kind of like you go down, roll off, and bump the bottom and up maybe an inch or 2. And then you just kind of chill. It's almost like you do nothing for that 15 seconds of auto rotation. We're at 700 feet, 700 to 800 feet for our auto rotation altitude. Field altitude's like just under 900. We go up to 1700 to start. But yeah, it's almost like a disturbing lack of adjustment that you have to do, where it's too easy. And like my head, I want to micro adjust it. Like I know that I can push forward to speed up and lose a little bit of rotor RPM, and to regain that rotor RPM, you need to do down on the collective, and that will have you descending a little bit fast. And anyway, it's like you can do a whole bunch of little adjustments and everything with it as you go. If you want to micromanage it, and especially in the sim where it kind of demands you being able to micromanage it. In real life, it was like, really, you just go down, you lower the collective, you bump it, you roll off the throttle, and you kind of have to hold it in the lower RPM range. Once you have it settled, because there's a correlator with it too, where when you pick up on the collective, it will rev the engine up. But if you're not moving the collective, it won't rev the engine up. So you basically just roll off, set your position on the collective, and then keep your forward airspeed. And if you lose a little bit of rotor RPM, then you pull back a little bit on the collective, and it's just a couple of mile-an-hour difference between your forward airspeeds that you can do to give or take away the rotor RPM that you need. And you almost can just manage the rotor RPM by like 5 knots of airspeed. That little bit of angle pull back or that little bit of angle push forward. And then when you get to the bottom, there's no huge collective input that you have to do, where you would usually think where you get down and you pull back to kind of do a quick stop at the bottom, level yourself off and do a quick stop. And then you have to do your quick stop low to the ground in a real auto rotation, because when you level off forward again, you would use that energy that you put in the rotor system to cushion your landing and land with little to no airspeed forward. But we do power recovery autos because full downs are rough on the aircraft and it's a bit unnecessary to do it. But like, yeah, there's really no collective manipulation. As soon as you're starting your flare, you begin to roll the throttle back on slowly. As you kind of get into the bigger section of your flare, you're already back up into the governor where the governor's doing its thing, and you level off like a quick stop, and then you're good to go. Like, there's almost nothing to do. And that really, really threw me off because I wanted to micromanage it. And micromanaging makes you chase the controls around. So I'm really having to coach myself out of micromanaging the auto rotations. Which, out of all the problems to have, not that bad, There could be worse problems. But hopefully tomorrow we'll get into that some more. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. I'm assuming we're going to be doing autos because that's basically the only thing I need to work on. We'll probably do a couple of hover autos at the end of the day just because you do like 3 of those a day. One, because they're tougher on the aircraft if you're not doing it perfect. And 2, it's such a weird timing thing where there's really like no coaching that you can do to make it better. It's like, oh man, you should have done this like 0.1 seconds earlier. Like, oh man, you should have done it 0.1 seconds later. There's really no dynamic coaching like you would really see with auto rotations or hovering or approaches or any other maneuver. It's going to be fucking hot tomorrow. So I don't think that we're going to be going to do confined area stuff because there's no fucking way we're getting out of it the normal confined area way. We'll basically be at max performance for standard maneuvering and for standard takeoffs. So I don't need to worry too much about going to do that, which those are pretty easy anyways also. But yeah, normal auto rotations, so easy that they're hard because you just there has to be more to it. And I'm still not even convinced that that's all. It's once I start doing some more, because I know he's kind of riding with me on the controls, so I don't know how much of it's me or how much of it's him casually coaxing my controls into the correct timing. I did record all of them, and I had been watching them and listening to the notes that he gave and everything. So hopefully tomorrow we're going to go in swinging and really start getting those dialed in. so that way I don't have to worry about them, and then at that point all we have to do is nighttime stuff. Don't know if anybody's booked after me tomorrow, and I can check that real quick. Which it looks like they just did a note on that talking about the thing. But it doesn't look like anybody's booked after me, so maybe we'll be able to do a night flight tomorrow, where if he's not busy tomorrow evening, I could double book myself in there, and because I do need nighttime hours. Otto's figured out that there's really nothing else to do. We did governor off stuff, which we haven't done before. Excuse me, I'm still getting over this fucking cough for like a month, which is one of the reasons why I haven't been streaming a super big whole bunch recently, just because I don't want to be coughing in your guys' ears. Can't tell if this is rain or just low cloud. We're just going to treat it like low cloud, even though it looks like it could be rain. Yeah, I'm actually going to say that it's rain, and we're going to kind of hang around to the north of it. I wanted to kind of... Oh yeah, that's good. We can still kind of go north and get a bit back more on full track, but... Looking like the stream's pausing up a little bit for me. If you guys see anything, please say something in the chat, because for some reason the chat will sometimes stay moving, but the stream will freeze up for me. Yeah, so fingers crossed tomorrow we get a good flight in. It's gonna be fucking hot, so I don't know if we're just gonna do an hour and call that good, or we're gonna see if we can do more. Actually, I'm going to leave my pedals alone. We're just going to do flying with the cyclic here. Because if I have a bad habit, if anything, it's pedal usage while flying. Which of course you needed to trim. And when I say trim, I mean streamline. More or less the same thing. Look, we have a little rainbow there. How nice. Rainbows actually only happen when the sun's on the opposite side of you, and then the mist is on the other side. Fun fact. Yeah, pedals are only there for trim and or streamlining. As far as when you're in standard forward flight. Is it still considered Malaysia? I think so. Can't remember. Either way, we're just having fun and cruising. Looks like most of you guys are kind of off doing other stuff, so I'll just chill out here and fly for a bit. Save my voice for a little bit of coughing that still is hanging out around me, and touch up when some more stuff's happening. I think I'm going to punch this rain core up here. And we're just going to play lower. You're here, let's chit-chat. Okay, ma'am. What's new with you? How is work? Pee-pee poo-poo. Ooh, fun fact. Do you know why the piano is the #1 instrument in the world? You're learning just how much stuff you can make. You don't limit yourself to U.S. hardware materials. Would I rather be North Russian, 100%. Yeah, why is the piano the #1 instrument in the world? That's the standing question. That's the trivia question right now. Yeah, Russian, 100%. They're like old school Orthodox Christianity. Hate it? You hate the piano? That doesn't answer the question, though. Because if it was the #2 instrument in the world, it would be the poo-ano. Eh? Eh? You get it? P? Poo? #1, #2? Please don't leave the stream. I need friends. It's racist. No, if you're not talking like Siberia, middle of fucking nowhere, Russia, then at least from a single man dating standpoint, the women are healthy, well-fed, well-educated. They are religious in the right ways. They are in shape. They can fucking fight. They don't take shit. They're a lot more traditional. North Koreans are all just like underfed and malnourished. Because once you have one, it's a pain to get rid of. There's so many fucking free pianos on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of lower clouds though, that's for sure. Not the best flying weather. Do we even have an outside air temperature gauge here? I don't want cockpit air anymore. Is that a trim ball? It is. Look at this. So we can trim or streamline. Skinny queens. Mountainer. That fucking, was it Naomi Parks? The girl who escaped North Korea? She's like 5'1" and like 80 pounds when she was able to get out. Like, that's not the attractive sort of skinny. Like, I don't even care for like the unhealthy skinny shit. Like, give me a girl who fucking eats and goes to the gym, you know? Nutrition and being healthy is big for me. I don't know which way the air... Oh, we're actually also going up in altitude. I was about to say, it feels like the storm's closing in on us there as we're approaching the mountains. I got a pipe organ that you can fucking come get. I mean, are there that many people trying to get rid of pipe organs to where it's an issue? I feel like there's plenty of people getting rid of pianos, but like, once a church has a pipe organ until like the church is gone, then they're gonna want to keep it. Because I feel like even if it doesn't work, they're going to use it as a decorative a decorative sort of thing. At the church I grew up in, they had a hole in the wall that looked like it was for a pipe organ, but it was the baptism pit. So that really doesn't count. Miles on this leg. But we're doing good. We're doing 140 knots or so right now. Does this tell me ground speed? Maybe, but I can't see it. It's out of focus for me. Just gotta go by feel. I'm sure there's like a pipe organ that you can buy from a church. It's like, cool, we're getting out of this, we're going full electronic with everything. And they'll sell you everything with it. I'm just not sure how built in they are, you know? Like, I feel like most churches may have not been designed for it. Actually, if a church has a pipe organ, I feel like it was probably built with that as part of the construction. I don't think it's like necessary for the existence if they wanted to get rid of it. But it would probably be a huge pain in the ass. This does feel USA-ish until I see some of like the row crops on the mountainside, but this feels like sub-hills and northern-ish Georgia until you look over there and see like a big fucking volcano. But it doesn't feel crazy different country. Which is maybe the first place that doesn't feel crazy different country. Maybe if the clouds weren't there and we could see the volcanoes popping up, it might feel actually different. Let's lose a little bit of altitude and see the trees spawn in as something slightly different. American Smursh rig. I mean, I feel like that's where a lot of great things are concepted and cool ideas come from. Somebody makes something fucking ridiculous. and then it ends up being something that would be like, man, that seems kind of fucking handy. Could you do one of those for me? I feel like that's a lot of stuff in this world. We're going to be crossing over one airport here once we clear these hills, but that's not our midpoint airport. We're still another 25 minutes, 30 minutes from that. Oh. Dude, despite sleeping later, going to bed later last night, I'm tired right now. I didn't do shit today. Although I did watch a few, like, pretty solid fucking videos and documentaries and stuff like that. Dude, the most important thing about LaRue right now is the fact that he's single and dating women in their 55s to 60s. So, that's the most important thing about LaRue right now. Nothing else matters, really. Just the fact that Mark LaRue is publicly looking on Instagram on his main account. Which is fucking funny. But also, like, cool, why not? You have a successful company, and there may be some, like, older school gun bunnies that are single. They're like, damn, you know what? I want to be in that world, and he seems like a cool guy. What a good reveal. Hell yeah. Good steep face on the back of this mountain here. Oh yeah, one of the videos I watched, that's what I was going to mention that. It was called I Uploaded a PNG to a Bird. And he found out that one particular sort of bird, I can't think of the name of it just because they're not really around here. Not swallows or sparrows. It's like some other bird that begins with an S. The ones that fly in like the big groups and move like super dynamically together. Anyways, he found out that they have like very dynamic vocal ranges, and they like listen and imitate a whole bunch. And he used a waveform audio generator thing, and he drew a bird and turned the shape of the bird in the waveform to a sound, and then played it for the bird a few times, and then later that bird repeated that sound, and when he looked at like the ultrasonic waveform of it, it was a picture of a bird because the bird had like perfectly mimicked this particular sound that he had played. So you can technically teach a bird to draw an image with its own voice, which is fucking wild. Why is the stream freezing on my phone? No bueno. Don't do that shit. Yeah, there's things I want to design, but some of them are like beyond what my personal designing capabilities are. Like I really do want to make a flight helmet. I've got a lot of ideas of things that I want to do, but Lift Aviation makes a helmet that's basically exactly what I want. Like all the little things that I want to put in there, I would just do a slightly different shape and helmet design or whatever, but they basically make exactly what I want, so not really worth it. I'm probably just going to buy one of theirs eventually. But yeah, dude, his name's Ben Jordan, B-E-N-N Jordan. And like you can just look up like the video title, I uploaded a PNG to a bird. And it's like a good fucking solid video. It's like 20-25 minutes long. I would definitely add it to the list of things to watch. But he was talking about just the, like, before he got to that point, he was talking about the dynamics of the birds and how they're vocal system works, and just how wild it is, and how like accurately precise and dynamic they are. Like there's some birds that do like 18 to 20 different tones in one voice, or like one tweet or chirp or whatever, like where we may have like 2 or 3 working with a harmonic. Like they have like 18 to 20 different sounds that they can do at a time and modulate them within like the thousandths of a second to add like little and like your little fucking fax machines basically. They're just fucking organic fax machines. But it was a fucking fun video to watch. But I really do enjoy seeing well put together, because he's done other videos that I've watched before, which is why it showed me his videos. Because he does audio engineering and stuff like that, which I'm not into, but I find people who are good and knowledgeable at what they do, I find them really enjoyable to watch. Okay, this no longer feels like North Georgia. This definitely feels like a volcanic island. I have those 2, like my 3D print design to make gap that pushes the engineering limits versus just making it commonly manufacturable, centering necessary and such. Oh yeah. And like really I'd just be using my my printer for design. Unless I had one of the Vision Miner IDEX giant ones that use that Ultim 1010 or some like crazy hyper exotic thermoplastic whatever, where I could be super thin and very structural to what I'm doing. But my personal design ability is not to the point that would justify that. And it's like, yeah, of course I could buy an engineer, or hire, not buy. I could hire an engineer who can do 3D design and listen to all my fucking this and that's and whatever. But then I'm competing in a market that basically already has everything in control, you know? It's not really worth the push for me, you know? It'd be neat, but the lift aviation core 2.1 is just fucking sick anyways. And as long as it's something that can be adapted to work with helicopter plugs, which is the U174 plug instead of the 2-pin general aviation plug, then yeah, let's go. It fucks. Ooh. 51 nautical miles, 135 knots through the air. Ground speed, who knows? We're just having fun. Although I do see a low ceiling and mountains ahead, which means we probably will be getting into some IMC conditions. Potentially. We'll see. Honestly, it probably could. But it's also like a level of... like, let's just look at standard AR receiver types. The Ultim's obviously strong enough. Do you make it like a super thin-walled design? To where you're not doing like an 1/8 inch of aluminum, you're doing like a 1/16 of an inch of Ultim. Or like a few layers, or like 2 wall layers and like a millimeter's worth of infill, like diagonal or honeycomb infill, where it has some strength to it. I mean, do you do something like that and you like just try to like really optimize the lightweightness and strength ratio of it? Or do you try to do something fucking wild like the, let's just say like the FS2000 or XM8 or any sort of like fish gun, you know? Giant plastic, a lot of fucking volume to it, but you make it impossibly light using very minimal Ultim and like properly engineered strength and whatever. Like, yes, no. I also don't know quite the limits of Ultim. I'm not a huge fan of 3D printing for final production or mass production stuff, because at the end of the day, layers are still weak points, so you have to print it in a very particular way. But on stuff like firearms, yeah, they're typically only taking effort in a certain direction, as far as like the direct path of the recoil or whatever. But if you drop it because you had layers going the other way, or you have it in a bag and you set something on the bag to where it bends it a certain way, does that end up becoming a weak point or a breaking point because you were using it in its less than optimal printing degree? So that's all stuff that I think about. Now, they do a powdered Ultim, like DMLS type stuff, but with an Ultim. That would be cool. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you. If there are exotic materials that can beat aluminum at thinness, that would be... Gotta move the thing. That would be interesting. I think I can get an engineer. If I can get an engineer in NASA's carbon fiber loom, you can make stupidly wild design. Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the carbon fiber loom for the Lexus LFA? Basically, it's an entire circular loom that just prints out a carbon fiber tube, basically, where it's not like a single sheet that was like rolled over and then hardened together or cured together to make a tube. It's a full giant wild like 500 spool carbon fiber loom thing where it braids everything together and makes the thickness of the chassis. It's fucking insane to look at. I don't know, maybe the ceiling is friendly for us. Or not. I mean, if it fucks us, we've only been flying for like 45 minutes, so not that big of a deal. I could go around to the right, but it's just one little cloud. And it may clear up by the time we get to the mountains. We're risking it. We're going for it. We haven't been here for a while. We're gonna fucking make sure we're doing full send with everything. Let's pour some power into it too. We're kind of slowing down a little bit. I don't want that vertical speed up. I want that vertical speed level. Which we may be fucking diving forward to go forward fast, but we'll take it. Definitely darker under the cloud here, though. I'll say that for sure. Oh yeah, it would be great to push limits like that. I mean, there's a shit ton of things that I want to do that be limit pushers, and everybody says like, oh, that's overkill, just do this, 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 and this. Where's the fucking growth come from? Like, that's kind of always been my, I don't want to say the thing that we disagree on, but like the one thing that we've discussed multiple times between me and Tom when he's here, which he's off doing like a camping family type thing this week, which is why he's not here, why he hasn't been here in like a week. But for me, I think the Hill Helicopter people building their own engine and power plant platform and really designing everything from scratch is super cool. And he's like, well, just get a tried and true engine. Like, well, what's the point of a tried and true engine if it's the same engine type that's been around for like fucking 50 years? yeah, it's good, reliable old technology, but what if you can make it more efficient? You can put less fucking stress on all these parts because you're reducing the amount of things that are inside of it and optimizing how everything goes. Of course, things are optimized as they go around, but it's just not that much in the helicopter space, you know? But I enjoy shit like that. Yeah, push the limits. Fucking do this, do this. Start concepting crazy fucking stuff. Build wild, weird, nylon gear. Whatever you want to classify your weird, crazy things you want to do, whether it is gear or some other thing, you know? Fucking do something stupid or wild. You know, don't spend $1 bazillion on it. Unless you build a prototype and it fucking works really good and you're like, wait a second. But I feel like there's so many things that people could be doing, but they just don't because it's, oh, well, it's just good enough doing it this way. It's just good enough. It's fine. We don't need any more. We don't need to do anything else. It's dumb. Like, one thing that was fucking wild to me, unrelated but unrelated. We used to go to, as a family, go to IKEA a couple of times, like once a year. You know, just go up there and look around because it's such a weird, crazy place. And they had bought, the parents had bought a paper towel roll holder thing, like one that sits on the countertop. The paper towel fits on there vertically. And I don't know if the Swedish just have smaller paper towel rolls, but an American-sized paper towel roll that's full would fit down on this, but it wouldn't turn because it was like the base. It's like the base with a vertical thing that came out of it, then like a little side piece over here. So you have like a circular base, middle piece, and then like a little side piece over here. But the distance between the middle and the side wasn't big enough for the fucking paper towel rolls. So you would not be able to unroll a paper towel roll until it was like halfway done. And I was like, this is just the stupidest thing ever. He's like, well, don't use it. I was like, no, don't be like, well, we'll just get over it and deal with it. Like, that was kind of his mentality. I was like, look, it's a $7 thing. Throw it in the fucking trash. Obviously, like, it's a cool minimalist whatever design, but it's fucking garbage. And it's not worth the pain of having to fight a paper towel every single time. Like, if you fucking spill something and you need to pick it up quick, you know, like, I don't want to have to fight that. Crazy hills and stuff up here. You gotta be able to show extreme first, and you can scale back, proven, or you get cheated otherwise. Did manage to test the back support element in a really janky way. I was surprised with how well it actually worked, even though the math seemed wrong at first. And sometimes it's like that, you know. I don't want to say math is always wrong or math is always right. But I feel like there's actually like a lot of shit that people do where they try to map it out, and optimally design every single thing and piece or whatever, but then they put it on there like, man, this isn't fucking comfortable. Like, man, that didn't work anywhere near the way I thought it did. So sometimes you just have to fucking build it by sight or build it by heart. We're trying to avoid the IMC. I don't want to fucking fly into a cloud and then everything goes dark as we're flying towards the mountain. You know, I'm trying to be good. We're still going to cross the mountain and it's still going to be sketchy. But I'm trying to be somewhat responsibly with it. Because we're definitely, if this was real life, I would not be doing this particular crossing right here. I would have gone north of that mountain. We got more than enough fuel in here. Like, we really don't even need to stop for the center point, but I like to do a center point stop just for a checkpoint. Which we're only 19 miles from center point destination. Down the mountain to the town, to Grandma's house we go. We'll see what it looks like when we get up here. I see your comment. There's a lot of words there. I'm not going to push myself reading a lot of words. I'm doing an unknown mountain crossing through barely VFR conditions. Ooh, look at these little mountain lakes up here. Good places to steal water from to fight wildfires. Oh hell yeah, I can see the ground way out there. We're Gucci, fam. We are Gucci. Math seem wrong. You look at the existing design, and they all do beefy brace. You did a slim flimsy, and it being underneath the load, it didn't matter if it was flimsy and it held. Gotcha. Which I wonder what a lot of people, I'm sure there's some limit that companies will set for their, I don't want to say design limitations, but for their like safety levels or whatever. Just like, cool, if a plane's normal operating is supposed to be in up to like 2 Gs of whatever, like it's built to handle 3 Gs. Or built to handle 4, built to do double that safety margin. I'm curious if there's a safety margin designed into a lot of these bulky carriers and stuff, because, I mean, like you were saying, at the end of the day, you can support a lot of stuff with a lot less than what's given. I'm curious what margins they're trying to operate on to make that a thing, or they're just like, oh cool, beefy strong, we make beefy part. As long as it's not digging into somebody's fucking shoulders or waist or back or whatever, then it should be fine, right? Doing this like 160 knots. Fucking locals are loving this shit. Okay, good night. Talk to you later. Before y'all go to bed, pull it up on your phone, look at the downloading a PNG to a bird and just find the place where he was doing that. It's like halfway through. Okay, whatever traffic, this is helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey. We are 10 miles to the southeast, inbound for your fuel station. Whatever airport you are, it is called. Oh, pop up and show me your fucking name. That's annoying. I think this particular stop's more than halfway through also, so. Doesn't take much to fucking streamline. least at this speed. An A320 out here. Must be a decent sized airport then. If I remember right, fuel is kind of on the northwest side. Tell me the name of the airport now. Yeah, good thing. I get a bit of Abdul Rachman Salah Aero helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey's 3 miles to the southeast, inbound for the fuel farm. Entering at our own discretion, staying clear of any airplanes active. We are watching the runway and we will not overfly the runway or the active if anybody is inbound. It was neat the first time I went to Class Delta airspace. We were taking one helicopter down to the other location for the school and then bringing another one back. And as we were going into land, we were like, hey, we're looking to go to the helipad over at the South Charlie ramp, whatever. And the instructor's like, okay, cool, clear to the helipad, stay east or stay west of the active, and clear to the helipad at your own discretion. I was like, on discretion, hell, fuck yeah. Get to do whatever I want to do. So we're going to slow down here. See anybody on the final. Which we don't need fuel, but we're going to come over here anyways. I don't know if I've actually like wheel taxied a Chinook before. So we'll see if we can roll this thing over there. A lot of helicopters over here, though. Looks like a lot of 350s. Back wheels are down. This thing's just so tall, it's hard to... Oh, it's back wheel steering, okay. dragging the fucking gear around. There's no way that was a real turn. There's probably skid marks on the ground back there. Yep. Okay, let's see where we're going next. Let's set the parking brake real quick. That is here. Oh no, still pretty good flight. So we're doubling it. $119 miles, not too bad. Should be about an hour. And a 282 heading. Boy, my shit was frozen for a bit on mine. Oh, we're still showing there. Okay, cool. Let's go taxi by these helicopters over here. See what they look like. Thank you, Elaine. It's nice putting the tablet right there. I wonder if these are these 350s that have like 4 rotors or something. They have like the BO105 rotor system or something fucking silly. And we saw some of those the other day at one of the locations we landed at. The cool guy thing, we're gonna pick up and overfly these dudes, blow them around. Yep, so those are AS350s, but they kind of have like a twin squirrel looking dual intakes? I don't know, that's usual. They usually don't have a round exhaust on the back, and they usually do not have a 4-bladed system. So very strange. I mean, it looks like a helicopter sitting on the ground, so at least it's just not all airplanes, but yeah, definitely a weird bastardization of a couple of different things. So yeah, off we go. Got plenty of torque. We're kind of doing a bit of a max performance takeoff and acceleration. Now we're going to be going to the right of this mountain. It is large. It is cloudy. And we're kind of going in the right direction, going this way anyways. We've still got so much fuel though. Not a single worry for that. Thank you, something, Aero, Sabulubulub. Aero. I cannot wait to get back in the English-speaking world, where I can pronounce the name of some of these fucking airports that we're going to. No rain ahead, but there are clouds. Don't see anything on the radar. Precipitation-wise, at least. Cool, I like 1,500 feet-ish above the ground. Streamlined. Feet are off the pedals now, and we'll just do some cyclic cruising. handful of people in here right now. Good to see you guys. Feel free to speak up if you have any questions or you want to say anything. I work better with prompts, as you can probably tell. But even just sitting here, cruising around or whatever, I'm definitely thinking about what all of these stuff we're going over. My instructor says we're now in the pre-solo prep stages, other than doing auto-rotation learning. Because I feel like the prep is like once you have all the skills figured out and whatever, it's dialing them in till you get to your solos. And then at that point, it's using your solos to dial stuff in. And getting ready for your check ride. So we're technically in pre-solo prep. And I feel like other than the autos, I've got everything else pretty much figured out. But I'm curious what sort of, not written test, but like oral examination, you know, asking questions and emergency procedures. I went to Office Depot when I printed off the entire Robinson handbook for the helicopter. So instead of studying all day, because then you just kind of start forgetting shit because you're over cramming, a few minutes a day every day I'll start reading. I'll read a couple of chapters and go over emergency procedures. I need to make some flashcards. That's something I need to do. Which actually I need to go shopping tomorrow. I think I'm actually out of my midnight snack food, which sucks. But I need to go shopping tomorrow, so I'll grab some index cards. I'll make some flashcards for emergency procedures and stuff like that. And limitations, speeds, things that's good to know. I'm sure there's apps for it, but I'd rather just do my hard-copied flashcards and be good with that. All the stuff that they may ask, but probably not. Like, cool, it's a Robinson R22 Beta 2. It's good. What? Where the hell are you coming from?
Sky condition. Few clouds at 2,500 feet.
I did not ask for any of that. Are you gonna go away? There we go. But yeah, I'm curious what all the pre-solo prep outside of the flying will be. Because I know emergency procedures will be one, because you need to know those. Especially if you're flying alone. It can't be like, oop, man, something happened. Let's let the instructor take over to make sure we're all good and babysitting or whatever. Because I've already noticed doing startup, doing the initial pickup and taxi and everything, like I'm no longer getting instruction from the instructor. But she was here the other day, so I'll say Aiden. I usually try not to dox anybody that's in real life, but he was in the stream the other day, so I don't feel too bad using his real name. But so it's not like, hey, Aiden's here telling me what to do, or oh, we're gonna go take off from this way and go this way. It's I gotta be doing all the weather checks and listening to the ATIS. I've gotta be making note. I need to make sure I'm learning all the digital HSI gauges and everything like that to make sure that's all hunky-dory. Because usually once we hear the wind direction, he'll twist the knob on the digital HSI to kind of put it in the right direction, so we always have an indication of where the wind was coming from on the most recent ATIS of whatever airport that we're going to. But I want to make sure I'm learning all that and figuring that all out, because when I am solo, it's just me out there. It's not him doing any radio station changing. It's going to be all me, obviously. And I've been very, very preoccupied with flying, and preoccupied with the actual physical part of flying, and the tips and tricks and whatever else for that, as well as I've done my written test already, so I don't need to worry about written anymore, but I've been worrying about a whole bunch of stuff other than like the smaller administrative type things that he does tend to handle. So I need to make sure I'm watching and figuring that out. That's one thing I see I need to work on for sure. Another thing I'm working on outside of just my autos is steering with my feet while in forward flight. We just need to be streamlining. There's a few like tactics that he's taught me as far as like doing off airport stuff, and that I don't 100% understand what he's trying to explain, like a shoulder door jam method. And then I watched a video from that YouTube helicopter pilot guy, Pilot Devin. Started out as like a student, obviously, and I think he may have instructed some, and then started flying tours. Now he's doing medical or something like that. But he was saying that they always taught the shoulder door jam method. He's like, I never understood what that was. But, yeah, it's just little things like that. Like, okay, cool, like learning how to read the wind a little bit better if there's not a lake nearby or there's not water nearby to watch the ripples. It's nice having some sort of digital readout so I can see my ground speed versus airspeed, because that's a good way to figure out what your wind direction is. If you maintain a constant airspeed, if you maintain a constant airspeed your entire high orbits and low orbits, you'll have a much higher ground speed when you're into your headwind, obviously, or much lower ground speed when you're into your headwind, much higher ground speed when you have it as a tailwind. It's like, I understand that, but the shoulder door jam 45-degree method, don't quite understand what he's saying. I'm sure there's just like one little thing that's could be communicated better, because it sounds like it's a common thing for people not to quite get. That could be a Mauna Loa thing, because they were both, that Pilot Devin guy was taught at Mauna Loa Helicopter School in Hawaii. My instructor came from Mauna Loa. So it could just be a way that they teach it out there, and there's one thing that they say, and some people pick it up, some people don't. I don't know, you know. But there's a lot of little things. A lot of little things to pay attention to, and I don't want to say not fuck up, or you don't really, don't fuck up. But it's fun. The real helicopters are a joy to fly, and I'm glad I'm fully taking that jump and dive into getting that done. Because then at least I'll have the private rating. I'll start working on instrument more or less as soon as possible. Just because instrument be good to have. Train and airplane galore. Good evening. What is going on? Welcome to the chat, buddy. I want to say it's the first time I've seen your name here in the live chat, so glad you're here, dude. New faces are always nice to see, especially when they talk back, because it gives me more stuff to yap about when I'm flying instead of trying to come up with absolutely everything that we're doing. Which obviously there's a set plan of where we are flying. We're flying around the world, and we got places to go and things to check marks to get by, you know. But as far as things to talk about, it helps having people like you come in, and whether it's for a minute or two or the entire stream, it's nice to have other people in here to talk with. But yeah, I was just talking about I'm doing helicopter school in real life, and I'm getting close to soloing, and we're now doing solo prep. So I'm just kind of brainstorming what all I need to do that I know of. And then we'll see what the instructors. There's 11 people in here. Welcome, everybody. Right now we're over Malaysia somewhere. Took off of Bali, and we're heading to some other place. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's in the description. So... Also, if anybody in here wants to fly with me, feel free to comment. I'll let you know what server we're in. But we're flying live traffic, live weather, live everything. So, you have a question? Go for it. I think we're flying live everything. Oop, yep. Live. So, should be able to find me regardless. Also, sorry about the coughing, everybody. I've been dealing with this for a month now. But it seems to be clearing up, so that's nice. That's a plus. But yeah, questions are welcome from you and anybody else. And since we had a handful of people in here, if y'all haven't figured it out, we are in the Chinook today. We've been flying small helicopters for like the past month, and I wanted something different. That's right, there was no airport in this town. There was just a whole bunch of like helipads and stuff like that, wasn't it? Let's see. Yeah, a whole bunch of helipads. Oh, I answered the question before you were even able to type it. Because it is like a 20-second delay, I think, between the two. But we are flying the CH-47 Chinook. This is the one that came with the sim. I don't know if it's with the base level of the game, or you have to get like the plus or premium edition or whatever, but we're in the Chinook today. We've got basically all the helicopters, give or take. R-22 is kind of slow to fly, so I've done that once. I've done every helicopter at least once so far, because I want to make sure that we touch everything during the around the world, because you do the same thing over and over again, it kind of gets boring. But big boys, we got the Chinook, we've got the S-64 Sky Crane. We did a day in the Sky Crane as well, but it's also a very slow helicopter. Medium type things, we got a Huey. I don't think we've done a Huey day, because there was something wrong with the model with it that we just figured out, or I figured out to reset or something. Yes, this is 2024. So we've got the Huey from Tow Oaks Hangar. I just got a weird thing with that figured out where we could use that now, but I don't think we've done it for an episode yet. So we'll probably do that once we get up here into Thailand, Vietnam area for the meme. We've got the Airbus 225 Super Puma, which came with the game. We've got the 160, which I got from Hype Performance Group, as well as their H145. I don't have their 135 freeware though. We should probably download that just to have another option. Got the R66 that came factory with the game. Got the H125. I've got the H130 from Cowan Sim, as well as their Bell 206 B3 and L3. I've also got their MD500E. Got the Taux Hanger OH6/MD500C. Got the Bell 222 Bravo, which is the one with the retractable gear, from Cowan Sim. Coming here shortly, within a couple of days, they're the Cowan Sim S76. C++ should be out and available for everybody, so we'll be using that. Is this an airport? I think it's supposed to be an airport. Doho Airport, yeah, but they just don't have the everything nice yet with the topography of it. Also coming out soon, Miltech and Blackbird are dropping a Black Hawk, which I'm very excited for. So we'll be downloading that. So yeah, the S76 and the Black Hawk coming soon. We need to do a Huey Day once we hit up to mainland Southeast Asia. We're still kind of Malaysia right now. Yeah, we're doing it in 2024. There's a few more options for helicopters here in 2024, obviously. And being that we're doing this in helicopters, we're pretty low to the ground most of the time. And the graphics are just better here in 2024 for being near the ground. Variety of trees, better building varieties and stuff. If you're just flying in the same place, I don't think it matters that much. I had a lot of fun in 2020. But in 2024, doing helicopter stuff, it's just so much nicer to be here in 2024 because we're so close to the ground and all the photogrammetry and the variety of buildings, trees, more platforms to fly on. You know, it's worth it for me to be here in the newer game, in the newer sim. I keep saying it's a game. I'm not going to act like this is the end-all, be-all simulator. It's a game. But it is much nicer to be here in 2024 doing it. Some teething pains with it being what it is. But we've worked through that. You know, we didn't use some helicopters. We just started using the Bell 407, which is another one that came from the factory. Also, the Cavalry G2 is one that we used a little bit in Japan, but it's super slow, so we really don't do anything with that. But with the Bell 407, you couldn't do a cold and dark start, which we do all of our starts here. Cold and dark, we don't start on the runway. I think so. We start out of the helicopter, we hop in, and we go through the startup procedure for it. Where am I going? Yeah, couldn't do that in the 44, or not the 44, in the Bell 407. And the R66 you could, but it was really, really annoying the way that it would do it. I couldn't use the button that I have mapped to be a starter on the cyclic that I'm using. You have to like use your VR controller or your mouse and go and hit the button that's on the actual collective control itself. Shit. Okay, we have a rule where if I crash, we restart from the thing, but that was my VR controller hitting the door here. Which usually it just tells you can't open the door in flight. But I'm not going to count that as a crash. If anybody in here wants to count that as a crash, partially eat my ass. But partially that was not a me flying wrong. That was my VR controller button happened to be pointing at that when I set it down and it clicked on it. So I'm not going to call that a crash. I just kind of restarted us on the ground for some reason. But yeah, if we crash and it's me doing something wrong, like we're flying through a cloud and I run us into a mountain, or I come down and I land too hard, or I overspeed and stress the airframe or something, then we'll restart to where our last fuel stop was, or wherever we landed last. So if I had eaten a tree there, then we would have gone back to our last airport and restarted. But whatever that ground restart crap was, that was not me messing up. And that was of no fault of my own. But if y'all want to call it, I am going to accept arguments against that to go back and restart. Definitely take a mulligan. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was, since I'm using the Meta Quest 3, the controller looks like this. There's no like circular ring type thing around the outside like you see some of the VR controllers. And with the trigger, there's a trigger right here on this back side of it. So when I set it down on my side table, that trigger can hit the table and depress the trigger. And when it was set down right here, I had set it down and it fucking clicked on the door. Which is ridiculous. That, like, cool, yeah, opening the door in flight doesn't fucking kill you. Like, we fly with doors off a lot. You know, you see a lot of helicopters fly with doors off. Open doors shouldn't kill you. Or it's just like, oh, cool, the door can't open right now because it actually swings like a car door. And we're doing 150 knots forward airspeed. It's sure as shit not going to open. So, that was weird, but either way, that's the rule. So if the any new viewers that are in here watching right now, by the way, if y'all are new, feel free to click the like button. It helps more people see it. And feel free to subscribe. I hate asking that, but apparently some people forget. And for the 6 people that are in here, 10 people that are in here that are paying attention, not just using this as background noise or whatever, it helps. It helps more people see it, and if I get more money, all that money goes straight back into either buying more helicopters for us to do the Around the World series with, or it goes straight to my in real life flight lessons, which I am recording all of my flight lessons, by the way. I wear an Insta360, their GoPro style one, not the 360 style one. I wear one of those on my chest with all my flights. The only one I did not do it with was with my intro flight. And I kind of did it on my first flight on my hat, but it only had like a 40-minute battery life, and we did like an hour-and-a-half flight, so I ended up missing like the second half of the lesson. But all my flight lessons have been recorded. I think the first one or two also just being the chest thing itself, it was just ambient helicopter noise, not that good, but I bought an audio recorder and an adapter. So now I've synced everything together, so there is chest-mounted GoPro, more or less, footage of all of my flight lessons from pickup to put down, or really from startup to shutdown, as well as intercom audio. Takes up a huge amount, flown for like 12 hours. So I've spent some money buying extra hard drives, external hard drives to use. I'm recording everything. I'm not going to post all my lessons because it's not my flight school. And I don't want people getting lessons for free from my instructor. I want you to go and pay your instructor, or come to my school and pay my instructor. So I don't want to take any lessons away from them, but I do plan on doing an entire recap of like my first time doing certain maneuvers, like my progress in auto rotations, my first solo, things like that, you know. So I'm recording all that, and like I said, the money that I'm making doing the YouTube stuff, which isn't much, like literally less than $20, all that's going right back into the channel. So any sort of likes, comments, subscribes, whatever, that lets more people see it, which can hopefully get me to passive monetization, where like my videos that are non-helicopter related, they could run ads on them, and I could make passive income, which will go right back into the helicopter stuff. So it all feeds back into you guys anyways. So it's actually probably like a bad thing if you don't do it. An asteroid could hit your house if you don't like and subscribe. But if you do, you could win a lot of money. For me, no, but you could. Definitely worth a shot. There's an airport over here somewhere. Where is it? There were one city here. It's kind of like mildly past up here on the right. Oh, straight ahead of me. Okay, cool. We may do an auto rotation in this airport. So park the brakes off. Yeah, we'll do a power on auto and see. Or no, because I don't have throttle control in my hands. How do they do autos in a fucking Chinook? We could take her down to ground power. Which these things are easy to auto. I autoed one of these things into the first time that we were flying the Chinook. I was like, well, let's just see what it autos. This is a couple of months ago on the stream, before we were doing the around the world stuff. Yeah, like I put it down on a beach where it's like barely wide enough for the helicopter itself. It just floated down. It was super easy. No like crazy pedal work that you had to do or anything. Let's see. I guess we'll take it to ground. Which we have a bit of altitude right here. We've got plenty of altitude. I also don't want to enter an auto at 120 knots. So we'll lower the collective and drop a little bit of altitude, and we'll do a straight in auto for this this whatever airport right here. Just might as well, right? You know? 14 people in here. What's up, everybody? Good evening. We're on our way. We only have 44 miles to destination, but we're going to attempt an auto rotation. Not attempt. We're going to fucking do it. We're going to do an auto rotation with a Chinook into whatever this airport is real quick. Just to stay on our toes. What's the name of this airport? Great. Ishwillahundi. Helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey, making final for runway 35, I guess. Power off. So we went down to ground power there. We have a lot of fucking momentum here. I did not slow down before we initiated that. There we go. Some rotor RPM going down there. That's good. Means we're doing the correct thing. Hey, it was 35. 35 left. Where's right? Oh, that little dinky thing's a runway? We're going to make this a 180. Because the wind's actually going the other way also. If anybody's unfamiliar with what an auto rotation is, it's using trajectory of your helicopter to move air through the blade system spinning it up and giving you that extra energy, momentum, wherever you'd like to call it. Which we're going to have to come over here. Low rotor overspeed, goodness. Oh, we had a shit ton of fucking airspeed here. That's on me. Jesus, there's no reason for you to still have that much rotor speed. Why are you still flying? There's no reason for you to still be flying. We could almost go to our destination. So here, it should say 0 engine torque. There should be no... Yeah, something's not right with that, so... So we're just gonna continue on because it gave us so much rotor inertia there, and it was still saying 20% engine torque, even though we should be doing no torque, being at flight idle. So, oh well. I could turn the engines off, but I don't want to do a full restart of the ship. So, oh well. We'll land, and I'll pick up another helicopter. We'll do some autos and something else, or we'll land and lock in our landing location. So that way we don't need to worry about anything, and then I'll pick back up and do a full engine loss, power off auto, full down. Yeah, that was annoying. Which weirdly, like the R22 model from Cow and Sim, it used to auto really, really nice. But then for some reason there was an update or something where the rotor systems just grabbed inertia out of nowhere, where they just spun and spun and spun. And yeah, so I stopped doing autos on the 22. It's do them in the 66 now to feed my auto rotation cravings. Okay, on course, here we go. Get our speed back. We got 38 nautical miles to go at 150 knots. And we'll say 40 at 160 miles an hour, you know, so I mean it's going to take a quarter of that, so 15 minutes ish, somewhere in there. I'm assuming our ground speed's higher. I have no idea what the wind direction is right now, so. Or no, we saw the wind at the airport over there. It's coming from from our left. So we might have a slight tailwind right now. Okay, what I'm aiming for now is that little gap. There's a cloud there, mountain. I'm aiming for this little triangle of a gap between. That way we're staying on course-ish, but also hopefully not diving into a cloud and running into a volcano, as we're at that point 28 miles or so from our final destination for the day. Got more power to give, let's do it. like that might be one cloud, but I can see mountain through it, so I don't mind if I punch it. I'll take a little bit of IMC conditions to stay on track, because we really haven't done any IMC today. We've kind of scratched the bottom of some clouds, but we really haven't gone instrument at any point today. Or I'll even kill some power off so we end up punching through, because it looks like we're going to go over it. When all you can see is that, it's fucking scary. Especially knowing there's a mountain right there where it can completely wide out at any second. Which also, it looks like if I get enough altitude here, there's a handful of mountains that are poking out of the cloud layer. Or on this one at least. Looks like there's another one up ahead of us that's kind of poking out. That's just kind of cool to see. But we're going to stay lowish, probably. Yeah, because we're not touching another mountain of any sort until we're through here. We'll keep some altitude, and then I'll descend through. Little challenge, you know. That's what I was looking for. You're on. Don't want any icing. Keep a 283-ish heading. There-ish. Yeah, there's a few mountains that are kind of poking up and around it. Cool to see. Also, guys, if the stream stops on you, just refresh the page. Sometimes the Starlink likes to do that for me here. kind of clear every direction that we're heading that way, so I want to punch a cloud somewhere. Watching our attitude gauge, keeping our airspeed where it's at, collective, kind of happy. The instrument flying without like. Also, the other thing with my setup, I don't have any sort of self-centering cyclic or self-centering pedals or anything like that. The only thing that kind of stays where you put it, the pedals will stay where you put them, but if you're off center, SOL, sorry bud. Which is decent for streamlining and trim. But the cyclic, no, if I let go of the cyclic, it flops over to one side. So I can't really put it somewhere and then trim in any controls. So any of the micro inputs, which if you don't know, flying helicopters is one of the things where you just kind of think in the direction that you're going to go and the helicopter will go there. Where like right now I might barely move the cyclic there. It was almost imperceivable to me, but as you can see, we're really twisting around there. Like I fly with my fingers. I don't fly with really movement of my. The only time, even in the real helicopter, where I use my arm for movement, is starting out. Like when we're first about to take off or whatever, and we're getting our forward airspeed. You really have to push forward on the little R22s to get them to go forward, and to lean forward to like pick up airspeed quick enough to get in through a translational lift and ETL. So yeah, forget the name of this airport. It is something. Abdul. Adi Soemarmo. Adi Soemarmo Tower. This is our approach. This is helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey. Call sign Fuckwagon. We are 10 miles to the east inbound for the ramp. We're not going to listen to any of your commands. We're just going to do it. Whatever tower or approach. That's so annoying that it doesn't show you, or it keeps doing that weird pop-up glitch. Weird. Oh well. We're coming here, we're going to land, we're going to lock it in and say we've made our final location for the day. And then I'm going to take back off. We're going to do an actual auto. I'm going to shut the fuel off. We're going to lose both engines and we're going to do it as an emergency with no restart procedure. Right pedal for streamline. What I'm doing, I'm watching our ball right here, which you kick the ball as far as which way you need to trim yourself in, your slip indicator. do we need to land here? What's the airport look like? So what we're going to do, we're going to come a little bit to the south. We're going to cross midfield, turn around, and come back in. I believe that's what the nice thing to do would be. Of course, the nice thing would be to use the fucking runway. But we're a helicopter. Welcome back. We're just now approaching our final airport. One exciting thing happened. I went to go set my controller down, and the trigger, like the pointer finger trigger or whatever, when I set it down, it hit the door and opened the door mid-flight, and it like immediately killed us, set us on the ground to take off again. We're calling that a I didn't do anything wrong, just the setting the controller down happens to press the button just a wee little bit, and that ended up clicking the door, which if that were to open in flight, BRB 2 minutes. Which if we had opened the door in flight, then no big deal, because probably couldn't fucking get it open, because I think this thing opens like a standard door. Yeah, nothing exciting happened. But we've been maintaining good viewership here on the end. Glad to see 14 people, at least for what my thing says on my phone. Although my laptop that I have open to kind of manage stuff says 4. Nope, still says 14. Weird. Crossing midfield, nobody on any approaches or anything. Do I see a windsock anywhere? Nah. Doesn't matter. Yeah, 14 people. What is it, Monday night? Which, not complaining, glad to see you guys here. Also, I'm curious, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this little vertical bit next to the pedals there, I'm curious what that is. Like, I know pedals and parking brake, you kind of use this like traditional airplane brakes where you push forward and it does its thing. I'm curious what those little vertical things is. They're obviously actuated for some reason. Also, this thing should have a governor of some sort. I don't know why it's throwing that much rotor RPM in there. It is not what it is supposed to do. There you go. Okay, there's the fuel stand. Sick. Okay, the wind is directly to our left right now. I see the windsock over there. So we're landing with a tailwind, but Chinook's kind of different. They're built different. So I don't think that's as much of an issue for us. We're out of ETL regardless. That's not the fuel stands. Where the fuck is the fuel stands? We'll just sit next to this truck over here. In the corner away from everybody. We don't want to be a hassle, you know? Now, usually I'd have a crew chief letting me know how close my back end is back there. But that doesn't exist in this game, and I can't tell anybody to check for me. And I'm not going to fly third person, because it's actually really hard to fly VR third person. We're just going to assume about here is where we need to be. So I wanted to be kind of in the back corner, which looks like we still had like a good 20, 30 feet behind us. Yep. Cool. So I'm happy with that. That was longer than 2 minutes. Oh yeah, so yeah, I set my controller down here, and when I put it down, the trigger button happened to click as it was pointing at that, which my finger wasn't on it. But anyways, so yeah, that's the leg for today, and I said we're gonna do an auto rotation, which the only way to really do it in this thing is to kill the fucking power. So we're going to do a complete power off engine failure auto rotation. S76 not out yet. I checked today right before we streamed. Believe me, I looked. I wanted to whip that damn thing out. Just like I want to whip that Black Hawk out. It says it's coming out the 31st. Cowan Sim, they had a deal with Microsoft to where it's not available unless you buy it through the game, so I can't go to the Cowan Sim website and buy it. Yeah, in real life, flying around 3 o'clock tomorrow, if everything goes right. That's if the helicopter's out of maintenance by then. Like I said, we may be going to go pick it up. We may be not going to go pick it up. Who knows? Okay, so we're going to get up here, we're going to turn final, and we're going to start flicking switches off. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Lost a lot of rotor RPM there, but we're going to get it back. Parking brake is off. That's kind of the shitty part of being VR. I can't, like, reach up and click stuff by feel. See what now? Why is it giving me so much fucking power all of a sudden? It just gave me a shit ton of RPM for no reason. You know, right now there should be no reason for these things to be spinning this fast. Let's see if it'll pick me up. I'm hovering. There we go. Now I lost all the lift. Okay, we'll get off the active. Right here by the precision approach light system. Anyways, Shift C. Chinook, we've made it to our destination today, which is here. Wherever this airport is, we're about halfway through Malaysia-ish, or whatever this island is. Tomorrow, we're going to try to get up here to the tips. And then tomorrow or next stream, whatever. I don't know how we'll feel tomorrow, because I don't know. I'm going to try to do a double hitter tomorrow for in real life flying. So we'll probably just get up here, and then for the next episode, we gotta hunt for tigers in this area for one of our people. And then from there, we're gonna make it back up to Southeast Asia and continue on. That's episode 49. Still in Asia, yeah. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Tom, for taking us to Australia. But yeah, so we're here, and we gotta get here, come up through here. Jeez, it's all cloud over. Look at that. That is unreal. But yeah, hopefully soon we'll start getting into it, because we'll have the S-76, we'll have the Black Hawk. We'll get into some fast things, like we'll be flying the 222, the 160, the 130. Anything that can do some speed, we're going to be doing speed. Did a lot of slow helicopters. That's pollution, not clouds. Well, we did a lot of slow helicopters in Australia as a gift to Timothy. But now that we're out, we're going to be digging some speed. I'll tell you that for sure. Let's see if the 76 made it while we were in the flight. New and exclusive. Aircraft free trial. Helicopter 130. Not doing anything from MS Scenery. I heard those are all garbage. Which we already have that. We have the 64, which came with it. This Apache looks better, but I don't have any, like, desire. Not the S-76 we're looking for. These things are so fucking slow, it's not worth me downloading it. Although I heard they have good, I mean, we used Boatcopter for the last one, without the boat on it. We just did Boatcopter with skids. This thing's silly looking. All the fly inside stuff's good, but something's wrong with their mapping right now. I think they're also either Taugs or them's coming out with a 341, which I'm excited about, the Gazelle. These are all stuff that I own. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen any Captain Sim stuff in the helicopter world. But MS Scenery is just kind of like, okay, cool, it runs on like a factory model or something, and blah, 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 good to go. The Felon. The Flanker. It's crazy to see like 1,000+ reviews on something when the helicopter is so small. It's like, ooh, 30 reviews, it must be good. What's other? Project Crosscart. Boats. I've seen people drive AMGs. Powerboat. Yeah, I've seen an AMG before. I mean, like, cool, but I'm here for helicopters, so. Glider, only 2. Sort by best rating. That's kind of dumb because, like, cool, 1 rating, 5-star, of course it's going to be good. Actually, what we haven't done in a while, let's... Microsoft Vehicle Simulator, it's called Forza. I haven't touched career mode in months. I think I did a long line thing like once on stream. A couple of weeks ago. A month ago. See, this is ridiculous that I've got all these fucking planes and stuff that can work. But also super annoying that I have to go through. And I would honestly just click a blanket. Everything gets fixed and washed button. Okay. Got $8 million bucks. Need more. $2,000 to wash a fucking helicopter. This one's a lot of 172s. So I don't fly them. That's why they have crew on. I wonder if they changed any of the money dynamics for how this is supposed to work, or I don't want to say how people cheat the system. But the 66s are so much fucking cheaper than buying an Ace. Oh, there we go, it came back. We got decent views on everything. Or not decent, what was I trying to say? Like, not bad. That one auto rotation stream was just so significantly more viewed, especially after the fact as well. Which, of course, it's like also like, ooh, little old me with like 6 people watching it. Cool, if there's 10 people watching, it's a big deal. Because also, 2 of my viewers all the time, or not all the time, when I was doing the auto rotation stream, I didn't care. And sometimes I don't turn on my laptop because it's in my bag. But usually I have my phone watching and I have my laptop watching, so that way I can have like an administrative thing. But, can I do that one? Yep. I think I only have 8 here. Cool. Good on air shuttle. Charters. rescue. I think I've got just one ship here? Okay. Probably because all the rescue missions piss me off because there's no help from your crew and it's just the biggest fucking waste of time. Cool, tell me what missions I'm not going to do. Oh cool, only one particular starred mission there? Curious what that was. Ooh, Twister near Huntsville. Don't care. Freelancer. I'll fly my own helicopters. $111, 126, 75, 75, 126, 173. Boys. We are in bubble business. Oh, it says 15 minutes now instead of 60 minutes for this mission. Load me in. We'll transfer a helicopter from one platform to another and we'll be good to go. Come on, you got this. Yeah, so it's weird to see the view numbers on stuff because, again, this is a Monday night. So 15 people is what my phone's showing right now. Or 14. Went to 15 for a second. Which usually it used to be like, okay, cool. If it was earlier in the day where like all my homies could hop on, all the people who know me, but I know probably most of the people in here are they're not regulars, you know? Ooh, transfer for $10. Hell yeah. So it's like usually the weekends you would assume more like Friday, Saturday night when it's not a school night or work night. But on a Monday night, I'm showing 16 people right now on my phone. Maybe it's a good thumbnail. Oh, dude, you got to get out of here. Go, head to bed. See you later. If anybody else in here is watching and you're not typing, feel free to type and say hello. Also, let me know what brought you in if you're not somebody who subscribed to me. Because I'm curious what drove you to come here. Ooh, did I just hear thunder? Okay, we're not going to use much fuel. We got to keep it super light. It says we need this much. We don't need that much. We need whatever the bare minimum is. Because this is probably like near the limits of what lifting payload is. Yep, it looks like I'm about to get rain, so we'll do this mission real quick, and then I'll get out of here too. So that way we're not stopped up with the rain messing up my Starlink. Yeah, that's a big load, even though it's floating. Now you don't have to do this. Dang it. Oh, look, they finally have my name on there. That's nice. I wish I could change the, I wonder if they made something where I could repaint it to what I want it to be. That would be neat. Let's see. Got that off. Let's get battery on and get our anti-collision lights on. Fuel pumps coming on. Do this. Brightness up all the way so I can see my torque levels. I can hear thunder outside. That's fun. Got that starting up. This is good. Get rid of you. Press A to contact ground team.
Engine
How about I
started.
press my
Preparing
talk
for
button?
takeoff. Please be ready. Copy that. We're getting in position.
Cutscenes are so stupid. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care. Give me my startup.
Looks like this mission around Tanker will be pretty intense. I'm
What?
here and ready whenever you are, Captain. Rasmus,
Why did
got
you
a quick
turn
recap
off?
for us?
What?
Sargo, Port 2, clear for immediate takeoff to the platform. The ACU unit is ready to be delivered to the boat. Fly safe. Over.
We'll leave fuel pump on. Restored. Sorry guys if you lost me for a second. I don't know if you still see me or not. I lit. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, y'all can still see me.